Welcome to another episode of the Grumpy Men. Two grumpy men.
Yes,
Grooms and Bobby May. We in the building. We're gonna get right into it. Yo, we thank all the supporters out there, everybody that been rocking with us. We appreciate it. You know, hit us up on the Patreon page, hit us up on YouTube, Two Grumpy Men TV. Get at us. Anyway. Yeah. Let's go right in. Let's talk about the Jussie Smollett case. I was listening to Star. He called him Jussie. I want to give him some credit for calling him Jussie Smollett. Yeah, he's a bugged out dude, but I can't front. He's a professional. But anyway, the latest on him. Chicago PD is going to charge him with a felony. Disorderly conduct for filing a false police report. That is the word as of an hour ago.
Yeah.
They're going to charge him. He filed a false report. But when you look at it in reality, he did a little more than that. I mean, look, disorderly conduct, felony can be knocked down, to a misdemeanor disorderly conduct. It can be, because that's the top charge. So he may not even do jail time. But
hold on. But they also mentioned that there was a letter that was sent to the set threatening his life. Now they're saying that he wrote the letter.
He wrote the letter.
So now you got to deal. Now the feds and the U.S. Postal are involved in investigating that. So it comes out to light that he wrote that. They'll drop the state shit because the Fed's gonna hit you.
They're gonna hit him with the mail fraud charge.
And all that type of shit.
It's a different jail time sentence. Mail fraud is hard to beat. So because the minute that you put something with intent to defraud and you put it in the mail, you committed mail fraud. Whatever it is. There's many people that went down on mail.
People that was the same way. That's how they was able to lock up Garvey with that mail fraud shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I read. That's under investigation. And if it comes to light that he wrote that letter, then he looking at it. He got other issues. So still in all. What would make somebody go what I've heard is that he was mad that the letter that he may have sent to himself didn't get national attention. And because it didn't get national attention, he wanted to stage an attack. Now, who does that? I'm like, and then you say the things that he said, they wore MAGA hats, they had the MAGA hats, they said this is MAGA country, all this other shit.
He denied the MAGA country thing.
Just like he denied the broken ribs.
Right, he said he didn't have broken ribs. Yeah,
he had broken ribs, and he denied they said that shit, but he know for a fact that he fought back. That he do know. He fought back. That's what he
called them homophobic and racial slurs. He stood strong on that. How could you take the two most inflammatory things that you could do, that you could say, and try to run with that shit and make up a story? But yeah, if you send a letter to yourself, and the way he did it, it had cut out words, like you see in the movie. So you really put some thought into that shit if you actually did that. And I think that's sad. The boy, you don't just do some shit like that. That's not something that somebody sits down and say, I'm going to write a letter to myself to draw attention. And since it didn't get national attention because I'm this star, you're not the star that you thought you are. It's not like a letter was written to Taraji or Terrence Howard You know what I'm saying? Threatening him like, yeah, okay, that would draw national attention. But why would it draw national attention to you? You one of like 6 siblings. Don't nobody really know you other than being on, Empire. I mean, come on. Let's be real here. Like, I was trying to figure that part out too. Like, what would make somebody do something like that to commit such a fraudulent act?
Yo,
it doesn't make sense to me.
You gotta be sick. Like something is wrong with them. Like if you wrote this letter and then you went out and paid these 2 brothers, one was your trainer, and you paid them to stage this, and then I'm like, first of all, the plan was not even well thought out. Like,
right.
That was just the first thing. Like, that whole shit was like you thought you thought you was still on TV acting or some shit. Like, you dealing with real police and shit. Like, and that's what I said from the beginning of this whole when this shit started, was that the Chicago PD, because they have such a notorious reputation, was going to take their time and do everything deliberately. And that's what they did.
Right.
Soon as they came out, remember, the first thing they said was alleged.
Yep.
Beating. You know what I'm saying? It was alleged. And everybody, even me, was like, what you mean alleged? And well, if they beat his ass and they tied a rope around his neck and all this other shit, why are y'all saying alleged? But here it comes now. Now, as more information starts to come out, that's why you can't always act first. Because when the information starts to come out, now here comes the information. Now, me, being the person that I am, I'm reading the information, I'm looking at the information that's coming out, it's drooling out, it's slow. But here it comes. Now, here comes the information. First, you see a tweeted picture or whatever, or a snapshot picture of him in the hospital showing his face. Now me, I've seen people get jumped and fucked up and their face look 10 times worse than it. So initially, once I see his face and I see just like a little cut, his face looks a little swollen, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I don't know. It didn't look, I thought it was a little worse than it. Then I was like, where's the rope burns if they tie the noose around your neck? Like, if they tie the noose around your neck and they pulling it, you're going to have rope burns on your neck, and there should be fibers and shit on your neck from the rope burns. Or it definitely should be some type of redness or something from the rope burn. From the way he looked in the picture, you didn't see nothing on his neck or anything. So that was a red flag. Then there was no cameras, like none. Like you had no pictures, like video. No, they couldn't find anything. They went 50 miles back, checking highways and everything, looking for a truck that was leaving that area around that time. All areas they had, because it's a downtown Chicago. You know they got cameras all over the city. What major city don't have cameras everywhere? They got cameras everywhere. There was nothing. You still haven't found video of him getting beat up. Nowhere. Right. But yet, so eventually they looked back and they noticed 2 dudes walking the other way. Wasn't the exact same time, but they was in the area near that time. So of course they're gonna question them. So you like, see if you've seen anything. But the minute they put that out there, the next day or so forth, they catch them 2 at the airport trying to leave to go to Nigeria. And they bring them in for questioning. And as we get to today, the whole story just been unraveling. They've shown receipts showing they went to Ace to get to buy rope and all this other shit. They even showed now they got the video of them in the store buying the MAGA hats.
What part of Chicago sells MAGA hats? I want to know that.
Yeah, I was laughing, but if you look at how the store looked, it looked like they was far out. They could have been like going towards the suburb part of Illinois. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and they got them in the gas station in the stores. And here go these two big black guys buying two bright red ass hats. I thought you couldn't see you couldn't see the person behind the register's face, but I'm sure knowing that motherfucker was looking at them like, huh? What the fuck is going on? Well, man, but here you go. You know, once it's still in their head, they tell that you paid them to do this. Police questioning you, they asking you to come in to refute their shit. He knows if he goes in, they gonna hold your ass because they already know the story. They already know the story. So that was just a ploy, like, you know, doing you a courtesy, like, yo, come in so you can tell us your version, if you can refute this. But if you can't refute it, they gonna hold you. They was gonna lock you up as soon as you got there. So they already know what it is. They went to the grand jury. They were trying to go yesterday, but I read that his attorneys and them stalled them like some other shit, like they had new evidence and they was trying to arrange for them to talk about it. But somehow today they got to the grand jury and they indicted him. And now he's indicted.
So what happened to the lady that was in his building who was walking her dog at 3 a.m. and saw this redneck that she said? So you had a person in the building co-signing the bullshit when the story first came out, talking about she saw somebody that looked like they was disheveled and a redneck. She definitely wasn't an African.
But what I'm saying to you is that she could have seen that person. But obviously that person would never made it to interest because I'm sure they would have found them already.
Right.
They would have found this person. If you seen that person, they probably found him and it was nothing. He might have been there. He might have been, you know, who knows what he was doing at that time of night. He was coming from somewhere, whatever.
Right.
But that still didn't lead them to him. That led them to the two dudes that they see walking. You know what I'm saying? So now the two dudes that's walking happen to be these two brothers. They already we couldn't see their face, but they zoomed in and can see their face. They showed us a blurry version of the picture of them walking. But that's not the real version because they took all that out and zoomed in and got their face. Then put it to find their license to know who they are. And that's what they did.
And caught them at the airport.
And caught them at the airport.
And followed them. All they did was took the images and followed them on camera everywhere that they went based on the body image. And they found them. They led them to the store. And then they saw who they was, and they ran their names, and they saw that they had airline tickets, and they caught their ass in the airport, brought them in, and then they didn't even charge them. They released them on Friday.
When they got here and they heard the story, they was like, "Oh, them motherfuckers was like, he told us to do this shit. We didn't know that shit was gonna be like this." They're like, well, you going to help us? You going to testify against them? They're like, hell yeah, I'm not trying to go to jail. Like, I had nothing to do with this. That was easy. That was easy. So that's what I'm saying. Police already knew the story. So they were just giving him, you know, they were just playing it out. Let it play out in the media, playing it out. So because they don't want to look like they're not taking his crime seriously, that he's a victim. They kept saying he's a victim. They kept saying that, you know, it was alleged. They stuck to their story the whole time because they played the whole shit how I thought they would play it because they knew what was at stake. And they let it come out, and basically we're at where we're at now for him filing a false police report. You know? Right. But what does that do to him from this point on if all of this shit turns out to be a whole big hoax? He wrote the letter, he staged this. What happens to him, though?
He sounds like he needs to make a movie mystery. He would make a great writer. Because this is all bullshit.
No, he wouldn't, because the story was horrible. The story was horrible. The story was horrible.
And he tried to draw on the emotions of the times that we living in right now. It's very racially charged. You know, it's also, we get a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? You get a lot of people that's getting condemned for being quote-unquote homophobic. If you speak out on anything that has to do with homosexuality or anything of that nature, if you're not riding on the wave of progression to say that it's okay, then you're being bashed. So, you know, that's kind of where we are right now as a society. So here comes this guy. He uses the racism card and the gay card. You can't use. How do you use both of them? Like, you really went for the overkill. And then on top of it, he goes on Good Morning America. I mean, you went to the extreme. I mean, damn. Like, all right, the people had a hard time believing the story because there was a lot of holes in it. You know, it just seemed weird. Like, you talking about, that was during one of the coldest weeks of the year. I mean, in the past 18 months, really. It was a vortex. I mean, it was cold everywhere. And in Chicago, it's minus 13 degrees. You talking about you went to get a sandwich. Everybody knows. I know people that we live in the city just like them. And it's cold like that, you getting delivery, Uber, whatever. Like, nobody's walking around unless you're coming from a club, which is the other side of the story that has not, you know, come to the media yet. That he was in the club and got beat up because he pushed up on a dude's boyfriend, and the dude was there and duffed him out. Like, that hasn't come to the media. The police don't even care about that because that's not where the crime took place. The crime took place when you came home with the rope, walking in your building, waited 45 minutes to an hour before you called the police. Then you delayed going to the hospital. It was just too much that was wrong with the story. And you putting out, oh, they called me a faggot. They called me a nigger. You putting that out there, yo, in this day and time, yo, people was ready to go to war for you. You know, go out there and I don't know. You know, it was just going to be a tense time. You talking about a noose. You know, you're not talking about, no, yo, I got robbed at gunpoint or I got beat up. You said they put a noose around your neck. And then, you know, it's already anti-45 out here. You know, you got the people that wear the MAGA hats, and you got people that wear, I don't know, Black Pride hats. Like, it's a collision course. You know, we coming towards like a race war. Or, you know, that's where it's going. And here you are throwing gasoline on a fire that don't need no more. Like, he was just dead wrong. And a felony charge, okay, if it goes federal, that's different. They could do mail fraud. You know, they'll knock out the disorderly conduct at the federal level. But something's wrong with that boy. I'm gonna call him a boy because, you know, I know he's 36, but when you do dumb shit like that, like something is wrong, man. Nobody can figure that part out. People understand people lying. All right, I've heard that. But nobody understands why he would do something so stupid to involve the authorities to save your career. For what? You know, what are you doing? Like, don't bring everybody else into that. Then you got Lee Daniels coming out and saying, oh, people need to, you know, to back them up and this and that and all of these different things that was out there. Like, you want to create this tension. For what? It's tense enough out here that we don't need to be dealing with that shit. So here this guy, you know, here we go. Black man in the media lying. How does that make everybody else look? The residual effect is this. We look like everybody. That's why you can't rush to judgment. You can't jump to conclusions because of things like this. This is the perfect example of why you need to stay put. But, you know, anything that has to do with racial. And you know what? He fucked it up for people that might actually go through this.
Yeah. That's what's going to be the sad part about the whole situation is now, you know, that puts when this really happens to maybe somebody famous, they're going to be looked at in a whole different light. Like, are you acting? Are you doing this for, you know, to get ratings? Or you know what I mean? It's going to take a whole nother tint for over some bullshit that he's created. Like, you know, some shit he made up in his head. Like, you know, you made that shit up in your head. You're a 36-year-old man making this type of shit up in your head, like, to get attention? Like, that shit is crazy. Like, that shit is some crazy shit. Like, you got problems. You a sick dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, something is wrong with you. That's definite. If all this come to light, there's no way they can keep you on TV because the backlash, I feel like that there's going to be a heavy backlash against him and Lee Daniels. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I just feel like that's going to be, this could, you know, you might have fucked up money for your whole cast on Empire, because, you know, they may have had another year or two run out of that shit. They might just drop that whole shit if the backlash is heavy.
Well, they do. Well, allegedly they're splicing his scenes out, so he's not even in any scenes.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying.
Well, he's already in the casket, Rob. Like, if you watch Empire, the casket is him that's in there. So he was getting killed off anyway.
I don't watch that shit, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I haven't watched that shit. That, you know, that shit too much for me. So I'm good on it. But I mean, that's why I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. He was getting killed off and none of that shit. I'm like, oh well. I mean, motherfucker, everybody get their 15. You got yours and shit up.
I mean, that shit been on for what, 4 years now. I mean, come on.
I don't know, but it's
been on for 4 years. I mean, damn, you had a nice run. Like, you messed that up. Obviously, if you could do something like this in the public eye for everybody to see, imagine how you was behind the scenes. Mm. That's how you got to judge a person now.
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
I mean, he was like, this shit. I mean,
it took me back, man.
That shit. I want to see how far he's going to carry this shit, like playing this victim role and all this other shit. Because I feel like that's what he's going to do. Like, he's not going to be like, yeah, I fucked up and da 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 da. He's going to play it out like, you know, everybody's after me, because just like with statements like I'm the gay Tupac and shit like that. Like,
I didn't understand that either. I'm still trying to understand that metaphor. What the fuck does that mean? You know what that means? I'm serious. I'm asking.
No idea. I took it to the reference that he's saying that he's a fighter. Like, you know, Tupac was always known not to back down from shit and shit like that. So that's what I was taking it, because that was his main theme, was that I fight back. I fought back, or whatever he would say. He said, I fought back. I want people to know I fought back. And, you know what I'm saying, I hit that. You know, he said in the Good Morning America interview was, I hit them and you know, all that shit. I'm like, okay. Well, you know, once again, there was no video. He said it happened on the street.
Right.
So I'm like, if it happened on the street, where's the video? There's going to be video if you have it now when you saying it happened at. You know, trust. They looked at every camera in the city. They scoped that shit for hours. Streets, everything, highways, looking for shit.
And at that time of the night, it's very easy to do, because nobody's on the street at that hour.
The streets are not that crowded. The streets are not crowded.
3 in the morning during the vortex. Nobody's out.
So, exactly, it's freezing outside. You walk back in the building with a rope around your neck and a sandwich in your hand. I don't understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what the fuck? Like, this shit is like, I don't know. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, to me, I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like, this, you just making yourself look bad. Now you just put this black eye on. Now everybody got to carry that shit. And everybody had nothing to do with that shit. Because that's how the shit works. That's how the shit works. You putting a black eye on the situation. You gonna put that shit on the next person that do this, that this may happen to for real, and all that shit. So I mean,
and you making a mockery of the people who've actually been hung, and who've been
like you know, like that's what I'm saying. Like you know, the shit you did is definitely. It's definitely more than it should be. Definitely more than what the shit that they hitting you with. Like, they hitting you, getting it light. You know, disorderly conduct, felony shit. Because the disorderly conduct, felony shit, like, if they push that shit, which I'm not sure they might not push that shit, just to prove a point.
That's 1 to 3.
Carry 3 years.
Well, 1 to 3 years.
Even if they get a year out of that mug. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, like I don't know if they're going to be ready to make deals like that with him, like, oh, you know, slap it down to misdemeanor. They're going to be like, I don't feel like they're going to be like, all right, let's make a deal. I feel like they're going to try to push that shit to the hill and make sure they make a statement. Like they got now they got everybody's attention, and now that they in the public eye, they might want to make a statement against him and take him to court and make him spend money to fight them. You know what I'm saying?
And this ain't no black and white thing either. I don't want to hear that shit from all of these new age hoteps talking about if it was a white man. I don't want to hear that shit.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Did the dumb shit. He need to pay for what he did. Because he put other people in jeopardy. You got people out here ready to go to war over some dumb shit.
I don't think nobody was gonna go to war though.
I'm talking about in general. Like you got people out here.
If motherfuckers ain't go to war for Trayvon Martin and all that shit, they wasn't gonna go to war for that shit.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, well, you
they wasn't gonna go. They wasn't gonna do that shit.
When I say go to war, no, you're right. Go to war. So because people ain't going to war over shit. You know, people could get shot right in front of you. Ain't no war gonna take place.
So
that's true.
I just feel like what it was that it was definitely increasing the tension though. It was definitely making the tension. Now it was going to be more tension because now the LGBT community would have got more heavily involved, and they would have pushed. And because they would have wanted more. They would have wanted justice for that situation. And then they would have been, it would have been major. Then it would have been a bigger spotlight on the situation. So, that created. It would have just created a lot more tension. It would have put a lot more strain on relationships in the communities, and the shit could have led to something popping, but that was just a bad decision on his part. Like, I mean, like the plan wasn't even thought out well. That's the first thing. Like, that shit was so juvenile and stupid. Like, I mean, how could you you can't even look at you like you 36 and no shit. That shit was like some shit teenagers would do. Like that was.
I'm not gonna disrespect our teenagers and say that shit. That was some elementary school.
That's
shit.
Some young shit he did, bruh. Yeah. Fuck that. That's some shit young motherfuckers do. That's not no shit no 36-year-old do.
Shit is a fucking 9-year-old does
that. That's not a plan you come together with. You know what I'm saying? That's some young shit he did. Like, that's some, that's desperate, wanting attention shit. Like, you a little kid.
2 MAGA hats and rope and bleach. And I'm going to send this fake, the fake letter came first. So I'm going to send the letter. The whole shit is despicable. The people the people in the LGBTQ community that was, ready to fight for this guy, be glad that you didn't. Be glad that you didn't put yourself out there for a lie because, there's too much shit going on in the world and you got bigger issues to really fight for than dumb shit like that. Because I know me personally, as a black man who, that is a sensitive shit to me. A noose and racism, getting beat up for skin color. Nah, I'm not trying to hear that shit that you fought back and this and that. I don't want to hear that shit because I know that there's people out here right now that hate people just because they black and they would kill your ass. You got people that's ready to kill you because of your skin color and you out here fucking around making up stories, making it fucked up for somebody else that could actually go through this dumb shit for real. And nobody's going to believe them because you had this fucked up ass plan, writing yourself a letter. You need fucking help. Maybe jail would help. You need a mental hospital. You don't need fucking jail. You need a mental hospital. Like to do some dumb shit like that. And people, don't even try to figure it out. We all thought about it, backwards and forwards. And the reality is, it's just dumb. It was stupid. It was dumb. That's it. Like there's no logic to it. The whole thing was illogical. We live in a day of technology. Everything is recorded. You step out on them streets, it's recorded. They saw the dudes buying the hats. They followed the images on screen to the pinpointed to the area. Now, if that is some enemy of the state shit,
I told you that. I told you. I said that they wasn't telling you the police wasn't saying the whole story.
Yeah, they can't tell you the whole story.
I felt like they knew the story already, and they were just letting it play out. Like they knew the story already. The way they was doing it, they felt like they knew the story, and from that point, like they didn't believe him from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they kept saying alleged. He's an alleged victim, shit like that. There's a lot of key words they were using.
They was dropping clues.
They was dropping clues.
Every 36 to 48 hours.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? They just kept going. They kept letting them go with it. Then, you know, then I think once he did the interview, that's like when he did the Good Morning America interview, that was it. That's when they just said, fuck it. They going to unravel the whole plan in front of the world. And that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wouldn't let it go. Like, he took it to the hilt. So they took it. That's why I feel like they're going to take it to the hilt with him. Because it's like, okay, you know, because remember, I was like, yo, this story, it seemed like it was drifting to the back. Then here he comes with the interview, and that shit riled it back up. And then now here you got this. Then a few days later, yeah, we found two dudes walking the opposite way, and, you know, they had on hoodies on their head or whatever, they coats on their head. They show you a sketchy picture, but they see the faces. They knew who it was.
They definitely saw the faces.
So that's when, you know, once they went there, then they put it out to the news. So now, you know, these two brothers, they see it on the news. They're like, oh shit, that's us.
They know it's them.
Yeah, and they trying to make moves to get out of here. Like, yo, we got to get back to Nigeria. They go, you know, what happened now? But they bagged you. They was waiting for you. They was already at the airports waiting. They knew they already had this shit. They was getting them. They was going to get them. He kept playing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I was already like, with no video? I'm like, yo, this shit's going to be hard to prove. You ain't got no video. You ain't got nothing. You don't have nothing. Then you was playing games with your phone records. Like, yo, you gave them the wrong phone records. Like, the whole time, you haven't done anything like that was like, that showed that.
But they said he was cooperating. So how did you cooperate?
How you cooperate now? They actually, they told you that you sent them, you know, the bill or whatever, you know, showing how you was on your phone, and half of it was cut off. That's playing games. Like, you playing games. Like, that's how you know what type of duty, like, you know what I'm saying, when motherfuckers who come from the urban, who really had encounter with police, they know already. They like, you don't play them games like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't even do that. If you ain't got it, say you ain't got it. Like, I ain't got it. But like we already knew, though, they already subpoenaed your records. So they already seen your shit.
It's a hate crime. So
they already seen that. So I'm like,
it's classified as an alleged hate crime. They already got the subpoena.
They already got your shit.
They already had it.
They already had your records. They already had your phone records. They was just doing shit courteously to you. Like, yo, asking you to give them that shit. They could get your shit anytime. They could have got your shit. They already had your shit. They already looked at your shit. That's how they knew that your shit, the bill you sent, the call log and all that shit you sent wasn't complete.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then part of it was missing. They know. Come on, man. Like, you think you fucking around like this some TV show shit. Nah, this some real life shit. This some real life shit now. Yeah, this shit make it real for him. Like, shit make it real for him, like, real quick. Like, you know,
it's about to, because they
can get real ugly for him real quick. Because if they
went missing for a few hours. He went off the grid for about 24 to 36 hours. That's when they was trying to do the grand jury shit.
They talking about they contacted his people to get a surrender date or whatever. They still ain't. I'm like,
so you still gonna cry victim, even though the story has been basically revealed that it was a hoax.
So if he take that shit to trial and he lose, he gonna do the whole three.
How you gonna take that to trial? Like, you don't have no evidence
so
that anything happened.
He keep crying he's victim, and because he said he has proof. He's saying that's what him and his lawyer said, that they have evidence to dispute. They have evidence to dispute that shit.
So they have evidence that he got beat up by two guys.
I don't know, so I'm just telling you what I read. They just said that he has evidence. That's what they held up the grand jury with yesterday when they called the district attorney. It was like, yo, put it off to such and such to the next day. We got proof. We got proof. We're gonna come in and show you our proof. They never came in. So they wound up taking it to the grand jury. They indicted him. and now they got a warrant for his arrest. They're going to get a warrant for his arrest, and basically asking him, see, they keep doing it the nice way. Because they don't have to be like, yo, you know, turn yourself in, let's set up a day, you can turn yourself in, da-da-da. They still try to show you, they still try to treat you with compassion, they still try to treat you like, you know, nothing you done, like, you know, it's all good, we ain't gonna do, you know, we ain't gonna hold it against you, da-da-da. But if you get in there and still keep crying the same shit and don't want to tell the story, and you're going to try to fight, then you're going to be in for a big surprise.
Well,
unless you have some evidence, that disputes all that shit them two brothers said. You got to have evidence. Your evidence got to be so good to dispute that shit.
Well, the evidence that he needs is video footage that he got beat up. He needs that. He don't have, nobody has that. That's the first evidence. What is he doing? Is he filming that scene right now?
All I know is whatever the two brothers are saying, that shit is sounding like it definitely got everybody whole tune changing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody
locked the brothers up.
Yeah, they let them go. They let them go. They let them go. Cause they like, yo, they know him, da-da-da. Like one dude was his trainer. One of the brothers was his trainer. They knew each other from the set. So it's like, you know, now they telling them where they went to get the shit, and then that's true. This is where they went and bought the shit. They got now they pulled up phone footage. Store camera footage. And the store camera footage shows them in there getting the two hats, putting the rope, putting whatever else on the counter, getting that shit and leaving the store.
Right.
They got receipts. They got everything. You know what I'm saying? So if they tell you now they telling you, look, come in, we got this is what they told us. We need to hear your story. So now you know if your story don't match up to what they're telling with facts, they gonna hold you right there. They not gonna let you. They gonna hold you right there. They gonna arrest you right there. That's what you know. That's why he didn't talk. That's why he had to talk to them as lawyers. They said, but they kept communicating with them like, yo, come on in, talk to us. Kept doing the nice shit, You know. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like he's still trying to play it like he's. His lawyer's still like, well, he's a victim. Well. He's going to have to show he was a victim now, because now everything is stacked against him. Everything is stacked against him. And because the lawyer is not saying like, well, the two brothers lied. He's saying that he don't know why they would make a story up like this. Like, that shit, you know, it's like, that shit ain't true. You should be like, they're lying. We don't even know what they're talking about. You're saying that they're two good dudes and you don't know why they're making up this story. You don't know why this, you know, where they got the story or some shit. I mean, like I said, this shit got
two hats and a rope if they don't know about your story. So basically, they would have to have heard the news story that you got beat up and went and bought the rope and the hat after that. Why would they do that to incriminate themselves? That's stupid. You know, we could wash our hands with it until there's video. If there's no video to show him getting beat up, then
it's like now you gotta fight. Now you gotta fight this over. Now you gotta fight this charge and hope the post office and the feds don't hit you with another charge for that lying, because then you gotta beat them motherfuckers. And
you ain't beating a mail fraud charge.
That shit. So
you're not gonna beat mail fraud. You can't.
So at the end of the day. You know, I hope you and your lawyer got something big. I hope y'all got something that can get your ass out of this, bro.
The only thing that will save his ass with that mail is if he used gloves when he was cutting up the letters.
Well, you know if they took the letter from him, they already swiped it from fingerprints. Yeah. So obviously he didn't have that shit on there. Obviously his prints wasn't on the letter.
So they can't prove that he wrote his own letter.
So now it's going to be more. But now it's going to be more like, you know, they're going to do other shit. Probably go to his crib, start checking garbage, all kind of shit, which I'm sure they probably already started doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be digging up all kinds. They're gonna be going and running through a hole. Like the more he tries to make it the story instead of shutting it down, is the harder they're gonna come at him. That's basically it.
How do you think? Okay, so do you think that the media was too quick? Like Good Morning America, do you think they was too quick to sensationalize this story? They wanted to be the first to have this exclusive interview, like it actually happened. Like they jumped the gun on this.
Well, I mean, it's TV, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's fighting for stories and ratings. Everybody want to be the first. Obviously, he wanted Robin to do the interview. He obviously must have felt comfortable with her doing the interview. So that was, but one, I think that a lot of people wanted to believe the story, and and definitely was definitely ready to be charged up for a battle for him. And now, is not that. It's not so. Yes, they were, but they're in the ratings game, so they're trying to get ratings. So yes and no, I guess it would be my answer, because he wanted to tell it just as much as she wanted the information. So what I'm saying, he felt that he needed to get that information out there. Obviously.
Right.
He felt that, because if not, you'd have just been like you already did some crazy shit. So if that's, why do the interview? Like, nah, I'm not
why
doing
go
no
on Good Morning America?
I'm not doing no interviews. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing no interviews. I'm not doing shit. I don't care. Nah, I'm not doing interviews. Like, no.
It would have went away. If he didn't do the interview, I think that this would have went away behind the scenes.
I think it would have too. I believe so. I truly believe I truly believe that with you. That this would have, they'd have let it die out. But once the interview came out, it added, now you on Good Morning America. This shit is Good Morning America is showing every 50 states.
That shit is global.
The shit is global. Like, you could be somewhere else. You turn on the news, you're going to see, you turn on their TV in a hotel, you definitely going to get Good Morning America if you up that early. So everybody's seen that shit. So now here, this is you're dealing with politicians. So now here comes the heat. The heat, now you do this. Now here comes the heat to the Chicago mayor, Chicago Police Department, the captains, all the motherfuckers is getting heat now, because people call in, activists call in, what is being done. So now they got to be like, yo, what the fuck is being done? So now you got to turn up. You got to turn everything up. Turn everything up. And that's what they did. They turned everything up, baby. They I'm sure they ran down on everybody that they seen, that they was in them pits that they found on the streets. They ran down on them. Yo, nah, it ain't me. I don't even know what y'all talking about. So finally, they put it together like, yeah, these two, and they like, yo, he worked on the set. Him and him, that's his trainer. They on Instagram and shit. Like, I mean, listen, man, that shit was the dumbest plan ever. That's what I do. That shit was the dumbest shit ever.
Hey, and people out there, that man is not a role model. Don't follow his dumb shit.
So, role model.
That's what I'm saying. Listen,
he fucked up.
He's yo, go get help, bro.
Yo,
let's move to some other
let's move to some next shit,
damaging credibility.
We'll be here talking all day about this stupidity.
Yeah, because it was just it was horrible, But in another theme, okay, let's get to the Gucci thing, or the Prada, or the Burberry, because they came out with a new hoodie the other day,
or the coat, or the Montclair coat.
Let's put it like this, man. If you understand the history of where we live, then you understand that, there's heavy built-in racism. And people of color, black people in particular, are hated. It's that simple. And they've been mocked in every which way that you could imagine. Besides being hung, besides being killed and raped and mutilated and castrated and all this other shit that has happened over the years, you still got people that are going out there and supporting these brands that actually are being fueled and funneled money through those causes. So okay, now with that being said, so you got people like T.I. or Floyd Mayweather who spend millions. You spend millions on Gucci shit. Okay, you could do what you want to do with your money. I don't think anybody has the right to tell anybody what to do with their money. So I believe that part. Now the flip side is this: what kind of consumer are you? Are you a conscious consumer? Do you know the history of what you're buying from? Like if a company could make a clothing line that has a noose on it, I don't think that that's something that your money should be spent on as a black person. But it's out there. Somebody green lighted that shit to say like, hey, yeah, you can put this out, the noose. Like who approves shit like that? Obviously somebody who won't give a fuck about the plight of anybody that has been suffered of hanging. They don't care about black people. Like that's the reality. So here we go. You got Dapper Dan, who is respected in Harlem. Anybody don't know who that is? Like, yeah, he's a designer, and back in the 80s, a lot of people would go and get clothes made by him, and he would use the Gucci designs, the Louis Vuitton designs. He would put it on the clothes, gaudy clothing, look at me clothing, very flashy clothing, but people liked it. That's what they did. Years later, he became friends with the owner of Gucci because he made so much money using their logo and everything. Like they probably wanted to pick this man's brain and avoid a lawsuit too. So they did become friends. So he didn't have to get sued for using all that shit. So here we go. We got a black designer trying to be the buffer to the activists that are out here that are saying boycott, and you're the middleman to try to bring some type of closure to the Gucci situation. Like, hey, I know the guy, he's not that type of person, he's really a good guy. Like, we always have somebody that's this intermediary. This time it's Dapper Dan. That's always steps in the middle to defend what this white designer or white person did that greenlit the bullshit. Like, no design is going to go out in the public if the damn owner of Gucci don't know.
But you really, I mean, just say, for, whatever sake, you think the owner sees every piece that goes out?
Absolutely not.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, this was done in the boardrooms, more or less. He doesn't care as long as money's getting made and the fashion stay trendy and hot, and they're buying his shit off the racks. That's all that really matters to the owner. As long as all he's looking at is sales reports, really, and if some shit he may like or some other shit, but pretty much he's not probably in all the day-to-day shit. Say this was done in like I said, in the boardroom with executives and shit who kick up to him basically, and they greenlit the shit, and right. They're the ones that they do this shit. Like, none of this shit is coincidental. Like, this shit is all to keep the same shit we just finished talking about with the Jussie shit. It's all about people trying to keep their names relevant in this society. And it's no different. Gucci, Burberry, they're selling lots of garments to black people. They're selling a lot of clothing, to merchandise to the black community. So if you know how the black community is, your shit will be hot with them, and then that shit will go away because they'll find somebody new to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? And certain brands stay the test of time and they stay consistent, and people they get a certain following of their community, of the community to stay with them. And I came up in the '80s. And cats been rocking Gucci in the hood since from when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So we used to go across the Sea Caucus to go to the Gucci outlet and shit like that, just to cop the sneakers. So, I mean, what I'm saying is that basically with this whole, Gucci, they want to keep their name out there. They want the same thing with Burberry, same thing with Montclair, same thing with whoever else, Prada. All these motherfuckers are just trying to keep their names out there. And, to them motherfuckers, they believe no press is bad press. You know what I'm saying? As long as their names is out there to the public. And that's what it matters. Because at the end of the day, okay, we may lose a certain population of the black community because they don't want Bob, but we may get introduced now to more new white people who are like, oh yeah, I like that. I like that rope shit. I like that shit with the red lips on the face. Yeah, I like that shit. I can wear, you know what I mean? And you gotta also remember this shit is being made not just for Americans. This shit is being made for all over in Europe, all over, everywhere. Anywhere you can get Gucci, that shit is being made for. You know what I'm saying? And people are buying it. So it's not just that they're making it for the American consumers, because they have a worldwide brand, and they're making it for other motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about black people's plight. Two, they could care less. They could care less if they wore that shit. That to them is funny. You know what I'm saying?
They'll wear it too.
Yeah, they'll wear it. So it's like, then some of that shit is just runway shit that it's not even in stores. It's just shit they put on the runways for models. They may only make a certain amount of them shits. So, it's just shit to rile people up to keep their names in there. And it's the same shit. What consumer is best to rile up? Oh, get black people riled up. Because then you'll have us against each other. Because you'll have the set of black people that's ready to be like, fuck Gucci, we gonna boycott this and that. And then you'll have the ones that be like, fuck that, I like everything. They ain't never done nothing to me, I'm gonna wear that shit. You got that. So it's always conquer and divide, because it's always the same. They do the same shit over and over. And then eventually it dies down, and the same motherfuckers who was boycotting go right back to buying and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even with Dapper Dan and with the release he put out, like, this and that, we had a great successful meeting. Nothing in that shit said anything about, how they was, apologizing to the community. None of that shit was talking about, how they talking about it was going to be more racial diversity training. Right. What is that? What the, you know what I'm saying? Like diversity, everybody always thought that we're going to have more diversity training. You know what I'm saying? But you going to give them a history lesson or some shit? Like that shit was taught to you in history.
They know our history better than us.
Exactly. So it's like, so that's why I'm like, his statement and all that shit, all that grandstand, and another, one thing these motherfuckers love to do is grandstand. They love the fucking grandstand and act like they putting on the front for the people, like I got y'all. No, these motherfuckers don't. These motherfuckers is about the money. Look, they took, Dapper Dan was, he was still probably doing his thing or whatever, but Gucci used the style that he did from back in the day and brought it out, and didn't give him no credit.
Right.
When they didn't give him no credit, he made an uproar. Gucci and them kicked it with him. Blah blah blah. Considered even. Yo, you was using our shit. We used your shit. Let's make it one. Blah blah blah. He gets a deal with them. He down with them. That's a big money for him. Now he ain't trying to lose that money over some stupid motherfucker who made some black sweater with red lips on that shit, fucking up his meals. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I gotta be able to move this over so my people can still fuck with me. And because that's who's gonna buy from me. Because you know what I'm saying? Nobody else gonna buy from you. They're like, black people the one he's marketing to. That's who he's marketing to. Like some white kids and some white people will buy that shit. They will, but if they in tune with the hip hop and all that and the culture, then they will buy that shit. But mainly he's making that shit geared to the black consumer to sell to, because we're $1 trillion industry.
Right.
Just buying shit. You know what I'm saying? So, he's not trying to lose that shit. So at the same time, he's trying to pacify the shit. Like, you ain't had no real say in what these motherfuckers was going to do. That motherfucker don't give a fuck. Like, he came down there out of to just smooth shit over, because you know how the shit go. Yo, just come through. You got to make an appearance, make it look good. You fucking up your money. This is make money for it. Da da da. But it's really money that you're worried about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, you know, we're gonna make this grandstand about shit that's gonna be done, but ain't nothing really gonna be done. But just like, yo, don't make no more shit like that. Don't fuck with the money, that type of shit. It ain't gonna be like, yo, Gucci, you know, Gucci donated to this school or donated that or put a, you know, we gonna take designers out of this school, put a program in this school to make. No, they ain't, none of that shit was done. None of that type shit was done. It was just basically an appearance shit to make it look good and pacify motherfuckers like motherfuckers always do. So that's what that shit was, and that's why it was some bullshit. And that's why, you know, like, that's why, you know, they got people like Floyd who put on a show for them. Yo, Floyd, we need you. He called TMZ himself. I'm going to the Gucci store. Come follow me. So I can do some dumb shit. So he can clown for them. That's the type of shit, that's the type of time niggas is living on. They doing it all for the gram. They doing it all for social media. That's what they do it for. They doing it for that. They doing that shit to keep them relevant. Keep them relevant in their talking. Yeah, you know, this and that. Make something out of something. You know, keep our names going. So here goes T.I. Make a diss record at him. I mean, yo, all that shit is just a grandstanding, man. At the end of the fucking day, it's like, you know, it's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's all a bunch of bullshit. Because the most, you saying you're not gonna wear that shit, but then you got 10 more rich motherfuckers that wear that shit. All the motherfuckers at All-Star Weekend that was black had on Gucci. Also, all of them motherfuckers had on Gucci. Mostly, especially all them African players.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or the foreign players, like
he had on the sweatshirt. He had on the canal.
Like, you know, all those European and all those African players, they all had on Gucci. Then throwing some of them American players had that shit on.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like that shit, you know, they gonna still buy that shit. They gonna still buy that shit. So it's like, you know, there's no real boycott for motherfuckers who wasn't buying it or who couldn't afford it any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, one day I'm gonna go buy that shit. You know, so it don't really affect the people because, you know, a majority of the people aren't buying that shit.
Right.
Because they can't afford that shit. You know, they can't afford a $2,000 Gucci bag. They can't afford $600 sneakers. That's just what it is.
Or $300.
So that boycott don't mean nothing for the humiliation that shit caused, because those motherfuckers don't buy that shit anyway. You know, so I just, you know, all that shit just is a bunch of grandstanding shit. You gotta watch out for that shit. They do it in the political.
They do it all the time,
all the time.
You always find a black man intermediary. You know,
like look at the motherfucker Cory Booker. Same shit. This motherfucker just out there running off saying all kind of dumb shit. He just out here grandstanding.
Put yourself in the white man's shoes when they do dumb shit. Yeah.
Why would I do that? That's what I don't understand. Why would I do that?
You need to know how they feel. That's what he's saying.
Know how they feel?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I'm like. What the fuck is? He don't like. This is a motherfucker. He just, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Grandstanding motherfuckers like him, and even the Kamala Harris lady. You know what I'm saying? Same thing like when Trump first got in office and they was doing all that grandstanding, grilling his people that they knew they couldn't stop from getting in because they didn't have no votes. But you wanted to make it look like you was putting on a good show, like you was trying to do it, but those people's minds was already made up. They was voting party lines regardless. So what you were doing was basically grandstanding. You know what I'm saying? To make it look good. Because you knew down the line this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to, in another year or so, you wanted to be like, I'm running for president. So people can be like, yeah, I fought on, so you can say, look, on my record, I fought against that. I fought against his election nomination. I did, you know what I'm saying? It's all for show. It's all grandstanding shit. You know, and people suck that shit up and, oh, yeah. You know, they suck it, I hate to say it, but you know, black people be like lollipops. They be suckers all the time. Motherfuckers be straight suckers. That's what they do, man. They They get you all the time with the same bullshit.
Unfortunately.
And, they don't even have to work hard. They don't even got to work hard. All they got to do is stick to the same format. And motherfuckers do it all the time. They lap it up. Oh, yeah. These people they only care about themselves and their interests. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta be more diligent in the process of who you putting your faith in and shit like that. Because it's just a bunch of grandstanding of these people in the public. And a lot of lies. Just a lot of lies. If you ain't learned anything now, don't move off emotion for shit. Get all your facts before you even say shit. Like, because in less than 24 hours, the whole story can change on your ass.
We learned that very quickly.
You know what I'm saying?
For real. But if it's not factual, a lie can change.
In 2 weeks, the whole shit changed. In 2 weeks,
it
fucking flipped. It flipped all over in 2 weeks. So, so just like that, you gotta be ready. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just be diligent with your process and what you reading and what you decipher. You gotta learn how to decipher shit, real from fake. And you know what I'm saying? And be a keen eye. Shit, people don't pay attention to shit. Like, that was the first thing I pay attention to shit. I'm looking at all the facts. I'm looking at everything like, yo, like, you don't live like this. There's none of this. So this shit can't be real. Like, you start adding shit to get up, and you're just like, that shit is not adding up. Right. That shit's not adding up on this happened, on a scale that this could have happened, or this type of shit, or anything. Like, it's sad, man. It's just sad.
Exactly. But before we go, let me put this out there about Bernie Sanders announcing. Okay, he had a huge following.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in the last presidential election, and he pulled out of the race late, and a lot of his supporters didn't want to mess with Hillary, and I mean, that's neither here nor there. So they didn't want to vote for her. And the bottom line is this: you have him. You have Kamala, and you got Cory Booker. So right there, if you're talking about black vote, you just split up the black vote right there. So right away, if anybody doesn't know what's going on right now, what's going down, you're seeing the implementation of a Trump reelection while Bernie Sanders stepping in now. And don't let Hillary come in. Like, it will definitely be a division of votes. Because now you're voting along party lines for real. You got black vote, then you got white woman vote, and then you got the team that was Team Burn. Feel the burn. Like, he had a lot of people in his corner. So, when you talk about grandstanding, Hillary was grandstanding, but everybody knew who Hillary was. She got votes just on the strength of her name.
I think you're wrong, though, son. I think you're wrong on that. I think you're wrong on that. Because I don't think there's going to be no separation in votes for Cory Booker. Because I don't think nobody's voting. Like, I don't believe that.
Nobody voted for Booker?
I don't think it's going to come down to nothing with him. Like, he's not going to separate votes. I don't think so. I don't think so with Harris neither. I don't think so. I just don't see her as that candidate. You know what I'm saying? Because bottom line is, she may be like 50-50 amongst with the blacks, and that's just not good. And a lot of black people this time around are starting to realize that, you know what, you ain't got no plan. You ain't got no plan for the community, or for black people. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? Then they not trying to fuck with you. So I think that.
So, okay, if that's the case, I can see that. So what about Flaky Bernie? Like, he pulled out at the last minute. I think what he's doing is again is leveraging. Like, he's going to leverage his power. So basically, he'll get his strong following, and he'll get them this time to leverage power, because that's what's going to be probably his main thing. Like, I'll put my shit behind your shit if you make me something like vice president or some shit, and leverage that shit and carry that shit. Who to be president, though?
I don't know, because I haven't seen any good candidates. I I ain't seen any candidate. I mean, I tell you like this. I put it to you like this: if Hillary, I think if she ran again, even though people be like this and that, if she would, because I believe that she'd have made Bernie her VP, she wins.
She would have won.
She would have won.
She would have won.
She would have won if she'd have made him his VP, but she didn't. She just wanted his backing because she picked somebody that nobody knew. That was like horrible. Like niggas was like, who the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, I don't even know the kid's name.
Yeah, like I didn't even know dude. You know, he was from Virginia, so motherfuckers was already skeptical. Like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, I'm good on
Virginia. That didn't help the situation either. So basically, what happened was, you know, I believe he's in it to leverage. Like I think though people, you know, I don't remember the lady's name, but she's in it. It's like over 44 candidates or some shit off. So I mean, matter of fact, I think it's way more than that. I'm sorry, but I know one lady. I don't know where she's from though, but she's already. You know, her gimmick was, I'm gonna give black people
the reparations.
Yeah, what she said, $1 billion or some shit to start reparations or some shit like that. But you gotta look at that. Her grandstand was way better than anything Cory Booker or Kamala Harris have said.
Wait,
like, when they asked Cory Booker, when they asked him that shit,
how could a white lady say to you, I'm gonna fight for reparations, and the two black candidates ain't doing it?
And when they asked them, they don't have no answer. They start talking the we are the world, we are the one world shit and all this other shit. And Cory Booker, he just talked around in circles. He didn't say shit when they asked him. He was just talking about, well, you know, if you look at the court system and then you look at the school system and, you know, it's, I'm like, what the fuck are you, that's not, yo, bro, answer the question.
Reparations.
Do you have a plan for the black community? When she was asked that, she said she got $1 billion. She's trying to implement $1 billion reparation plan. That's more than what Dave said.
You know what that comes to, though, Rob? When you do the math, about $3 grand.
It ain't no bread, but that's all right though. But at least she's trying to put something out there.
3,000. That's a
because now it becomes a negotiation for the vote. Now it becomes negotiation to back her and her people to get in office. You understand what I'm saying? Because now it's like, okay, well, you said $1 billion. We might need we're gonna need about 10. We're gonna need like $10 billion. So you deal with $10 billion.
Realistically, we need about $5 trillion. That's the real.
That's real. But you gotta work with them. You gotta work. It's a negotiation.
But I ain't mad at her for
so you gotta work with the shit. You gonna have to work. You gonna have to be. The bottom line is you gonna want her to set up. You gonna want. You gonna want that shit set up to where is banks being open and other shit for us to be able to start businesses and all that type of shit.
Dr. Claude Anderson has a plan for reparations. Huh? Dr. Claude Anderson. He presented a case for reparations to the Senate and to the Congress. You know, he's spoken on it numerous times. So why don't they go to him?
Now see, if she would have came, now if she comes with somebody like, well, I'm gonna use his reparation plan. I'm gonna use Claude's shit.
Right.
Down, motherfucker. And if Claude be like, that shit is real, and she get in, we can make it work.
Claude shit is real.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying to you is that if she gotta keep her word, we're gonna need some data. We're gonna need proof that shit is gonna kick back. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, listen, it's more than what the other two candidates have said. Yeah. We know what Bernie stands for because Bernie's putting it out there. But I think Bernie's just leveraging for power. You know what I'm saying? I just think he's really leveraging to make a power move. So he can be something major. You know what I'm saying? Like even play. If he can't be the president, he'll take the VP role this time, which he should have demanded the last time. Like, yo, make me your VP and you'll get all of this. Like that was the smart play. You know what I'm saying? That was a smart play. But, you know, egos, once again, rich man problems. The egos got involved. So, but even him, I mean, you gotta wait and see if the boy Biden gonna jump in, but he might be somebody, but once again, it's all about who's talking to the black community and not around the black community. You dig?
Right.
So who's talking to us and talking about laying down some real pay, and laying down some shit that we need to help our communities? Well, you know what I'm saying? Reinvesting in our community, getting loans and all that type of shit, doing renovations, and shit like that for better housing and better schools and shit like that. Who's talking that shit for the inner city? Who's talking that shit? And who's talking that shit is who motherfuckers gotta ride with. If nobody talking that shit, then nobody should fuck it. Hold your shit. Everybody hold their shit. No, I don't want to hear that shit, yo. Because all you're gonna hear is, well, see, you didn't vote, that's why Trump won. There ain't nothing the reason why he won. The reason why he won because you didn't follow the power play. Gotta follow the power play. You know what I'm saying? Power play. You gotta get everybody. You gotta line up with the people that's gonna be helping you. So, but yeah, I think we'll get more into that as it goes on because I'm sure the storyline's gonna get.
Just wanted to throw it out there.
The storyline's gonna get real thick. So once by the end of the year, going into next year, it's gonna really get heavier. So we'll see what's really going on.
It's about to ramp up because 2020 is closer than you think.
Yeah. This is 19. Yeah. They'll be here next year. So
for real. November 2020, right around the corner.
Right around the corner. So it's like that. So yeah, let's go. So we'll get more into that on Grumpy Mill,
Yeah, we thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for joining the Grumpy Mill.
Appreciate y'all for listening. Come in. We try to get it in every week for y'all. And, definitely come back. And just like my man said earlier, check us out on the YouTube channel. What's that channel again, C?
Two Grumpy Men TV on YouTube. You could go to the website, thegrumpymen.com.
Go get you some of that. Go get you some of that merch. We got that merch out there.
Go get you a Scully.
We got shit. So
we got stuff. We got that educational platform on Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/2grumpymen.
Yeah.
No, 2 Grumpy. So, come on there, $5 a month, get some knowledge, some wisdom, some understanding, and a plan for the future. For real.
Yes, sir.
This is how we doing it. We about our people, and we about teaching, and we learn every day. So we try, we fail, we succeed. That's what we do. We get back up. We trying to help other people get back up and stay up. That's what we doing. The True Grumpy Men. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.